it's so easy to look at something and label it based on what you see, right? And it's amazing that the phrase, you can't judge a book by its cover, has been around since I was conceived. And yet people still, take that with a grain of salt and look at you and think that they know who you are and what you're about just because of what they see. And so today I was spending the day with a friend of mine who is passive aggressive. And I knew that it was going to be a lot. But I'm like, you know what? I think I can handle his passive aggressiveness today. I'm going to go ahead and, make I'm going to go all out. I'm going to put myself in a physical state that makes me happy so I can deal with the negativity that I can feel coming off of him and hopefully, brighten up his day. And it was one of those things where it's like he wanted to go do the same thing that he always do, and I'm thinking, let's do something different. Like, let's go somewhere different. So we go somewhere different, and then he's not even there 40 minutes, and he's like, I don't like this, I'd rather have a beer, I'd rather go do this. And it's just like, it takes a lot of work for me to get to a place of being happy. And if m- my surrounding environment is not growing from that, I'm watching the bartender pretend like he don't notice us. I'm watching all of this, like people are going out of their way to ignore you. And I'm thinking, I did all of this for you to ignore me, which on one hand, I'm thinking, wow, that takes a lot of energy to like blatantly not look me in my face, blatantly not speak, like blatantly pretend like you're so busy with everything that you're doing. But at the same time, I'm reminded of something that I learned the other day, and that is if you can't turn the darkness into light, the light is going to turn you into darkness. Because you can't have one without the other. And when you shine bright, you're going to attract darkness because the darkness is like, how dare you come into this space and do that? How dare you go against the grain? How dare you just be yourself when everybody else here is playing a role, is playing what it is that they're supposed to be because this is what's going to make them successful. And here you come in here looking like that, and no, you're nobody, you're not worth it. And so in that instance, I was like, you know what? I just want to go home. Not because y'all are scaring me, but this environment doesn't feel like it's nurturing me. This environment doesn't feel like something like me needs to be here. You know, I'm glad I came for the representation. Like, I'm definitely going to represent myself, but I'm also going to go where it is that I feel, you know, celebrated and not just like passed over because you're doing too much, which speaks volumes. Because one thing that I do know, especially after hanging out with this friend and him not wanting to do anything different, is that, intelligence, like true intelligence, is a measure of how well you can adapt. And that is measured on how well you accept change and can change yourself to adapt to what's going instead of trying to force what is in front of you into a path that it doesn't want to go into, that isn't like nurturing anything, but you feel like, but this is the path that I know, so why can't it do what I know? Well, because you had to not know to know. And so if you want to know something more, you're going to have to not know. Period. So here I am at the park, listening to the crickets under the full moon, enjoying the beauty of that. It was like, you know what? A beautiful flower can bloom in the darkest of places and yet not be afraid of what comes because it's here to serve that purpose, to be beautiful. And beautiful does that. Beautiful does that. So here's to, appreciating just me and realizing that I don't need to be in a social setting, you know what I'm saying, to get acceptance, that I can be in the park where the peace is free and enjoy that.